All right. Welcome to Sideboardmtg. My name's Eric, and we've got some more subscriber decks for you. We're doing a kind of a double subscriber Sunday this week, so subscriber Monday, if you will. We've got some Reddit decks for you guys, and it's gonna be fun. Like we've got a Merfolk deck that I think the requirements were Merfolk in every artwork. We've got a Abzan Bugler deck that has kind of been the hype for a little bit. I know one of our moderators, Madness, has really been pushing this one. I've been wanting to play it myself, so should be a lot of fun. And then we've got Sultai Reanimator. I know a lot of people like Sultai. These Sultai decks keep getting pretty much the majority of the votes. Like, it seems like a lot of you guys are like me. You really like Sultai. So we've got a Reanimator list for you guys tonight, along with the other two, and it should be a lot of fun. So don't forget to give that thumbs up, and if you like the content in general, subscribe to the content. Also, we'll be talking about our Wizards sponsored content coming up this Wednesday. Wizards has been gracious enough to, or generous enough to allow us to have access to an arena account that has all the cards available. So we're going to be able to do some brewing, we're going to be able to do some events, we're going to be able to play against other streamers. It's going to be a fun time. So all day Wednesday, you're going to be able to check in here live. There's, as far as I know, there are only 8 YouTube streamers that are going to be streaming. I don't even need this up. There's only 8 YouTube streamers that are going to be streaming, so if you like watching this type of content on YouTube, then I'm like one of 5 that speaks English. So if you guys are wanting to, like, there's some Japanese streamers and stuff that are doing content for their fans, and I think there's a Spanish streamer. So Wizards really hit their bases. They got some small channels, medium channels, some large channels. One of the YouTube streamers is a charity stream, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Like all the streamers playing together. I think there's 396 streamers are going to be streaming tomorrow. So we should have enough people to find games. And, hopefully everyone joins in and has a lot of fun with it. Not tomorrow, Wednesday, I'm sorry. It's going to be the 16th. So just letting everyone know about that. What else we got? Yeah, that's about it for right now. Also, if you want to play any of these decks, check out manatraders. They'll be delivering the cards here in just a moment. Their rental service allows you to play any deck in Magic whatsoever on MTGO. They also do paper rentals, so if you would like to get access to cards in paper. Also, they're restructuring for 2019, and they're going to try to make everything more available to lower tier consumers, I guess. Basically, if you buy the $10 package, you're just going to get more for that package. If you're already purchasing that the $10 package, then you're going to just inherently gain those benefits, and it's going to be pretty good. And then if you're up in the higher tiers, then you'll get more there as well. So maybe you won't need to purchase the highest tier just to get into legacy or modern, and it should just be more accessibility across the board for everyone, and that should be a lot of fun. So if you do still like MTGO and you like to play best of 3, which MTGO only really supports best of 3, if you like that, then I highly recommend manatraders, as the prices of cards are they're quite low, so you could just buy your decks if you want, but if you're like me and you like to swap around from deck to deck, then you'll like manatraders. Alright, let's pull up the first deck here. It's Abzan Bugler deck. Speaking of manatraders, maybe I should actually check on them, and we'll see where our delivery's at. I requested delivery like right before I started stream, so they've had about 2 or 3 minutes, so we'll see. The day MTGO supports best of 1 is the day best of 3 dies, and thus a piece of MTG. You're correct about that. let's. I would like to read this. Over the past year, we have made many improvements. We're now excited to announce that with Ravnica Allegiance, we are launching next day rentals instead of 7 to 10 day rentals for your wait time. Due to stock and time, they are restricting this early access to customers with more than 3 months loyalty. They're also reworking vintage and legacy portion of their service to make it more accessible to as many other players as possible. So they're already putting notes up about what I just said. So pretty sweet deal here. Where's our rental? Where's our rental? Did I close it out? It's probably my fault, right? As far as renting with manatraders, it's pretty simple. We just pull up a wish list that has all the cards from all 3 decks we want. You're allowed to rent up to you're allowed to rent up to 150 cards at a time. I only need 84 to complete these decks, so I'm just gonna hit rent right here. Looks like yeah, maybe I shouldn't have closed this out. And then the bots will gather my cards and bring them to me, and we'll just kind of go from there. So I'm just gonna put this over to the side. We'll talk about Magic, what we've got going on, how everyone's doing. We'll get into a deck tech here on this Abzan list, which is madnesses. So if you guys have questions about why a particular card was run or something like that, you can do like me and just hit up madness right there in chat. If as we go through this, if I have questions, I'm like, why did we do this? Why is this? Matter of fact, I want to start out with why Izoni. I would like to hear it from the deck builder himself here. Why Izoni? I get that Izoni works with Militia Bugler, but is that the only reason? Is because it's a real big bomb that works with Militia Bugler? Other than that, like, why do you like this card? I mean, I like this card, and I have my own reasons, mainly the fact that it's a board in a box in most shells. But you know, a lot of people don't play it. A lot of people don't see this as having a high power level, when personally I do. It's the Dirtle Queen. Dirtle Queen. Okay. Alright. You didn't think manatraders would be right for you just because you wanted to own. Then Jareth got 3 old school standard decks while you were scrapping tickets selling cards for 1 deck. Hindsight's 2020. Yeah, if you have ever gotten into the point where you're like, all right, well, I'll sell these cards and I'll scrap up and then I'll go get these others, and I'll only lose like 2 or 3 tickets in the trade, and you move from one deck to another. If you're someone who moves decks, you got to go with manatraders, right? Like, I just pulled all the cards for 3 different decks, and it'll, like, you guys see me hit the request button there. Oh, look, our delivery has been. There's someone at our door. Ding ding. Hey, special delivery. All right. We'll just and then hold control, press A, it'll select all, grab a different card, drag it down. I typically drag a different card from the one that I initially selected. There's a thing where if you select the one you initially select, you'll only drag down 1 copy of each card. So yeah, just pick a different card. A bunch of exploring insects to be cool. Yeah, there you go. It has a lot of interaction. Alright, so Madness says, because the zoning and path of discovery in the late game is insane, the amount of explore triggers is nutso. Okay, so it really builds with synergy with your path of discovery, increasing the value of path of discovery. I like that. I can 100% get behind that. Would you put any of the new cards into this deck? Like, if you guys had an opportunity to update this deck to, you know, new cards from the new set, would you put those in here? Did I not get all the cards I needed? What happened? Here I am advertising for manatraders, and I didn't get everything I needed? Oh. Hold up. Commander, Remorseful Cleric, Unmoored Ego, Dream Eater, Mentor the Meek. Okay. try this again. So if we update, 1 minute, everyone. Bear with me while I try to get this straightened out. Looks like we're missing land in most of these. Okay, so in our wish list, we still got 69 cards we need. That ain't right. Well, we don't need all of these overgrown tombs. You don't normally have to do this. They won't send you more than 4 of a particular card. I'm going to do it anyway, though. Alright, so we're going to export, save, replace, back to manatraders. Hold on. Well, I've made this look so much harder than it normally is. Oh, you just posted an RNA Naya deck. A bit of work in progress, but brewing with the cards is fun. Just need a testing buddy. Awesome. Well, I'll tell you what, guys. I have been trying to brew and build decks, and I've been looking at what other people are doing and looking at strategies and trying to keep in mind that this is coming and that's coming. And I'm gonna flat out say it, like there's a lot of possibilities. Like there are so many different archetypes that you could run with in so many different colors that I don't even really know where I should start. Like this is all right, 61 cards. Rent those cards. We'll try this one more time here. Maximum cap exceeded. This rent would exceed the maximum cap for your subscription plan. We wanted to rent 61 cards. But if you rent up to 57 cards value of tickets. How? What does it say that I have checked out? There's no way I have over $1,000 worth of cards checked out. Well, may have a little bit of a problem here. Seems to be an error. Well, yeah, I forgot to turn in. That's what I was thinking. Like, did I forget to turn in cards? And if so, then, like, I want to turn those in and then check out the new ones that I'm missing. But I just pulled a ton of cards. See, this still says I have Nizahal. Is Nizahal in these new decks? Sultai Reanimator, are you running Nizahal? Oh, Nezi. No Nezi in the main. Yeah, there's a Nezi in the side. Don't know exactly what's going on here. Huh. Give me one moment to allow this this time here to 47%. It has woodland cemeteries, isolated. How about clear all? Let's just go ahead and redo everything, right? You have a lot of those cards you can borrow. No, that's fine, man. We'll figure it out a different way. We'll figure it out. It shouldn't be much of a problem. We should just be able to turn in and just redo everything. Mother of RNGesus, right? Yeah, well. Looks like somebody was playing This bot just picked up a modern deck. It looks like Storm. All right, so we turn all of those cards in. Let's just go to our wish list. And just going to clear the wish list totally. Just completely get rid of everything. I'll just restart everything. So here we go. We're going to grab the missing cards from the Sultai deck, the Abzan deck. Almost didn't get to the mute in time. Alright, so there's the deck, and then Merfolk in the art. We'll grab the cards for that. Back over here. So let's go ahead and thin these down. We can thin the woodland cemeteries down as well. There we go. All right, let's try this one more time, shall we? We don't need this many J-Light Rangers. Export. Yep, let's replace it. Where am I putting that? Make sure I'm putting that in the right spot. Yep. So, back to manatraders. Deck builder. Woo. Relic Seeker is a game winner. Yeah, I mean, Vraska Relic Seeker, she can take over games by herself, no problem. So, alright, upload. Wish list. Upload. We need 88 cards. Our lands are here. Spells, lands. Alright, everything's here. Rent. Rent. I get no error up here. Alright, so we should be back on track. We'll see. We'll see. Alright, as of right now though, let's go ahead and get into the deck text, and we'll just assume everything's going to go well. Alright, we're just gonna hope for the best, and hopefully we won't even have to prepare for the worst, right? Alright, so fun fact, 4 mana Vraska was originally in your Abzan deck before you booted her out for Path of Exile or Path of Discovery. Talk about Path of Discovery. Path of Discovery, 4 mana enchantment. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, it explores. That's going to go really well with Wild Growth Walker plan, Merfolk Branch Walker. I get Adanto Vanguard, but the part about this I'm not really getting is why don't we have like Seeker Squire as just more like, doesn't this deck just normally want to dirtle and then hit a high impact card in the top end, and like that's, I mean, that's normally how the Golgari deck plays, right? Like this deck is really close to the Golgari deck, where you know you have your Wild Growth Walkers, you have your Merfolk Branch Walkers, your J-Light Rangers, and then you know, instead of having the other high payoffs, we have, you know, Adanto's Vanguard, which, you know, you can pay for that life with Wild Growth Walker, Mentor of the Meek to help draw cards and things like that. Mentor of the Meek's here kind of has taken the spot of what would normally be held by Vivian Reed. That's normally the card draw you see in this. So yeah, such a grind making Mythic on Arena. Oh yes, I have been stuck in Platinum for quite some time. I'm going to have to get a different deck, because there's so many Niv Mizzet decks in Platinum, especially in High Platinum. There's so many Mythic, or so many Niv Mizzet decks, and that's kind of my worst matchup with Mono Blue. If they drop a Niv Mizzet, I'm just kind of out. So, fun fact. You're a numpty and thought you traded off your Seeker Squires, so you didn't include them in the list. And Adanto helps the deck speed things up against control. Fair enough. I mean, Adanto is a great card against control. Wild Growth Walker is a horrible card against control. So, right, let's see if this works better, guys. Second time around. $84 cards. We see the lands. They're even going to give us pretty lands. So, did we get them all? 84 cards. Here we go. We need some Primal Amulets. You need some Primal Amulets, young man? Why does he need Primal Amulet? He's not casting that many instants and sorceries. Second verse. Let's hope it ain't the same as the first. Second verse, the same as the first. Yeah. Well, it's confirm trade. At least it wasn't nothing that's not fixable, right? So there you go. Bam. There's how you troubleshoot. You have problems, you just turn in what you got. You know, clear everything, cancel everything, and just redo it. Seems to work. Also, I mean, if you ever needed to, I will. There's always this leave a message button here. If you're midday, like if you're after hours, you'll leave an email message. Whereas if you're midday, they're live chat, so there'll be somebody there to talk to you. So pretty sweet deal there. All right, let's update. We have the cards. Again, this is an Explore deck, right? Like 100%, this is an Explore deck. And it's trying to use Militia Bugler and Mentor of the Meek to draw additional cards. So, want to see your unsealing go mythic today? Sure, man. I would. That'd be awesome if you could get mythic. That'd be awesome. You're doing that with Sarkhan's Unsealing? Huh. Okay. Manatraders is a misleading name because it doesn't actually trade mana. Only the lands needed to make mana. Sure. It's a card pool, right? Like you're basically buying entry into like the best card pool there is. So, yeah. Oh, this is your unsealing deck. This is your unsealing deck. Okay. All right. I will. I'll bookmark and check it out later, okay? Did you hear? Did you hear Sarkhan's Unsealing? That is tomorrow night. We are going to be playing Sarkhan's Unsealing tomorrow night, so you guys will be able to check that out. Everybody kind of gets the gist of this deck, right? Like, do we need a full deck tech on this? It is the Merfolk. The Merfolk explore creatures with Path to Discovery, so everything explores. We've got the option to come in with a ton of creatures with Azoni. All those explore triggers can make sure that we never worry about paying life for Adanto. We're running Enter the Unknown, which is a pretty cool little card. We never get to play with that. Target creature you control explores. You may play an additional land this turn. Not bad. I really do like that. Taking this over like Land of Werewolves seems a little bit interesting though. We've also got Ravenous Chupacabras, and we have a copy of Vraska Relic Seeker. The problem here is we don't have a ton of cards with bodies big enough that we can use Finale really easily. Like we're pretty much counting on having a Wild Growth Walker out, and the majority of the creatures here, they all fall victim to Ritual of Soot. So Ritual of Soot would be a little bit of a nightmare for this deck. No Carnage Tyrant to kind of bail you out or anything like that. So yeah. I still like the idea of the deck, and it should give a ton of card advantage. All right, we've got Legion's Landing in the sideboard. We've got Duress, Remorseful Cleric, Knight of Autumn, Ixalan's Binding, Vraska's Contempt, and another Izoni. So, yeah, this deck could definitely go off. As far as consistency goes, it's probably a very, very consistent aggressive deck, like aggro deck. We're going to go find out, though, because you got one game to impress us here, deck. Let's see what happens. King Leo, you coming? Where you at, King Leo? Sir Eccles. I remembered it this time. Sir Eccles. Right, you don't have a ton. Like, you got Izoni and Bugler. Everything else dies. You know, well, you could also use a J-Light Ranger if you use the old trick where, you know, you flip up the the top card, it gives a counter, you reveal it again, then drop it in the graveyard. So yeah, you love the thumbnail. It's the old thumbnail. It's been a long time since I missed a sub Sunday. I usually miss like one every 3 months or so, and this is the first time I've had to miss one this season. So, whew, man, that's a hand, right? What are we doing here? I mean, can we keep just Jade Light on 3? Like, we get to go. I mean, we can get into the Jade Light with the double green here, but we don't have any other action. Yeah. Oh no! What a nightmare! Really, we should have kept the first hand. There was a lot of green in this deck, right? Can I trust that this deck will hand me green mana? Oh man. Yeah, it was worth it. It was worth it to keep the first hand. I've got one scry. I'm gonna go for it. Overgrown Tomb. We're gonna lock that in so that we can get in on this Merfolk Branch Walker, and we're gonna be throwing anything that's not a green source away. So pretty much everything non-green going bye-bye. Heart of the cards, right? Heart of the cards. I could feel it. I could feel it. It was there. All right, we don't need to pay life for this. +1, Heart of the Cards. Just give me another green source now, and I don't even have to worry about it. Well, double black's probably not bad. This will be good if we ever come across a Niv Mizzet, but we really need this to resolve. RN Jesus, bless us this day. We're not being blessed right now, but we're not out of it. There's a green source, untapped green source, sitting on top of the library right now. All we have to do is pick it up. And all we have to do is draw it. It was right there, guys. I could have sworn it was right there. Maybe it's just a little bit further down. All right, we just need to get a little bit further. We can get there. Come on, Jeskai. Ugh. Yeah, this is a nightmare matchup for everybody. Okay. It's a nightmare to play against. It's a nightmare to stream against. It's a nightmare, like, nobody wants control. Actually, I would love to be playing control. Like, if I'm in a situation where I'm like, I want to win, yeah, I'd be playing Jeskai. But in a situation where you want to have some fun, Jeskai ain't it. It ain't it. Look, a Crackling Drake. Well, alright, fine. So we've got 2 turns to get to that green source. And that'll help. That'll help a ton. So his shields are down. We don't have a way to stop the Teferi anyway, okay? So I know that he wants to play Crackling Drake on 4, make us tap out to deal with Crackling Drake on 4, so he can slam Teferi on his 5, which is a nasty, nasty line. But there's not a lot we can do about it. What? He didn't hit his land drop? Well, opponent. Let's go ahead and get in for a little damage. A little damage here. Ooh, he's tapping manas. You can do it, opponent. You can do it. Aww. Boo. Got to get to that green source. looky there, looky there. Well, we don't have anything else we can play, so. Control not hitting land drops is a dream. Yeah. This is pretty good because, like, if he counters this, then I have value on fine. And then I can just find back, you know, a Merfolk Branchwalker and a Jade Light Ranger. We'll make him deal with all of that, and we'll get our Vraska down and just kind of, you know, work it from there. Like, he needs to maintain counter spells for to stop something like a Vraska or something like that. So. And again, we just get to like have insane value by using our Fine Finale, which we don't need as a board wipe in this particular situation. So we'll go black, black, and we'll just grab 2 cards back here. Now, if he's got a counter spell, it's fine. Like, I really want to burn him out of cards in hand anyway. Syncopate, okay. I mean, we still have plays in hand, and we're only 1 land away from being able to drop a Vraska and put down other things. So, Jareth Miles, machine down, gotta go. All right, the maintenance man, he's heading back to work, ladies and gentlemen, heading back to work. Okay. So, like, I could wild growth, which I think I'm going to do. Like, so we throw down Wild Growth Walker. I mean, he's probably got Deafening Clarion, though, right? I mean, he definitely has to fire something off to stop these. I'm going to say with your mana base currently as is that the black creatures, like, just trading Merfolk Branchwalker for some Seeker Squires might actually be smoother. But this is just 1 draw. I mean, this just could have been a horrible draw. Chemister's Insight. Back up to 4 cards in hand. He'll have 5 for the turn. So used to Arena, you thought the opponent was out of cards. Yeah, the opponent's got 4 in hand. Yeah. Beat his face in until he's dead. Yeah, there's that Deafening Clarion. Okay. The question is does he have an Ionize? I'm just going to go ahead and try to take a value turn here. Alright, there's the negate. One of the cards we really, really wanted to take away from our opponent there. Like, because that stops our win con. Like, like this is how we plan to go for the long game here. Oh no, that's a nightmare. Definitely going to be paying for it here. He threw Opt away. Does he have a 2 mana? Does he have a negate? I'm going for it. Come on, let me get this down. He's got an answer. Syncopate for 1. Oh my goodness. Oh no. Oh. Alright, alright. Okay. I mean, maybe I should have went for the Jade Light Ranger and played around Syncopate. But, he had, 2 cards left in hand. I thought we could probably get there. Here comes the Teferi. Is it too early to scoop? Can I get away with, like, going to game 2 now? Can I go to game 2? Yeah, so maybe I should have played the J Light Ranger. I'm just gonna get back a Merfolk Branch Walker and a Wild Growth Walker here. It'll allow me to make 2 plays at one time, and it's possible that we might be able to allow the Wild Growth Walker to grow Deafening Clarion, which will mean that he'll need to down tick one of his Planeswalkers to kind of deal with it. There's Lan. Oh, look, Lan. So, like, at least that protects against Deafening Clarion. He doesn't even care. He's got none to give. Is Ral's ultimate better than Chandra's? Yes. Ral's ultimate's one of the best ultimates I've seen on a Planeswalker in a long time. Considering if you're playing him, you're in a blue or a red shell. Blue-red shell somewhere, which is normally laden with instant and sorcery spells, you're going to be able to deal 4 damage to any target and draw 2 cards. Now, Chandra is just whenever you cast a spell, you deal 5 damage. The fact that this will keep refilling your hand, so you're just casting, drawing, that part alone makes it better. So, I'm going to try to main phase this Jade Light Ranger to see if I can make my Wild Growth Walker grow a little bit. I highly expect I'm running into a Settle the Wreckage, but I have to put... I'll put that on top. I have to put more towards this Ral Zarek, otherwise we're just going to lose to it, so... We can spread it out a little bit. I assume we're getting settled anyway. I will scoop it settle. Yeah, we have no more options. Concede the game. Sideboardmtg plus chat. Been in and out of the hospital with spinal problems. Ooh, wow. I've got a friend who's got like bulging disc and slip disc in her back. She's about to have surgery, so I mean that's horrible. Catch the streams the day after. Can't wait to come back to the live shows again. P.S. Grixis looks sexy next set. Time to rest. Bye. Take care, sir. Thank you very much. That means a ton that you stop in here at the stream. Like, I guess that would be like stopping in at your local gaming store and going, hey guys, I know I haven't been coming to F&M lately, but I'll see you guys soon, alright? I'm not feeling so good, so. Yeah, rest up, dude. Like, get better. We'll be here. We'll be here. So, yeah, that's moving, dude. I appreciate that a ton, and I really hope that you get to feeling better, dude. Yeah, so we're definitely bringing in Duress, Binding, and Contempt. All right. As far as other cards go, I like Knight of Autumn. I personally think that Wild Growth Walker is one of the worst cards in this matchup. Even though we're exploring, gaining life, doing that sort of thing, it's just not going to matter. They get ahead of us, and then there's just not going to be much we can do about it. Vraska Relic Seeker is really good. Path of Discovery is even like kind of one of those must-answer cards. So if we bring these in, Chupacabra could be worth it. We did see that he had some Drakes. I don't think I need Izoni in this matchup, even though he's going to kill a bunch of creatures. Militia Bugler is card advantage enough. I don't think Mentor of the Meek is enough power Even though it's draw cards, that's really good against control and things like that. And then Enter the Unknown is just, it's not doing it for me. I think this gives us better answers against the control deck. So Legion's Landing could be good. Yeah, but I just don't expect to ever get 3 creatures on the battlefield to actually flip it. Like if the deck had a more aggressive line where you're putting more creatures down earlier, then I could 100% see it. But in this particular line, I'm really not favoring it. I'm going to keep this hand. This hand looks perfectly fine. I want to get this Adanto down early. Hopefully we can get it down before that he has the ability to stop it. And if we can do that, then the Adanto may just go all the way. So. Why couldn't this have been our hand last game? Right? This is a pretty sweet hand. I'm like, getting the Adanto down. Like, this is, like, he even said it. Like, the deck builder told us, he's like, this card's just really good against control. That's why Adanto's in there. And I agree. It's a really good card. This card could go all the way right here. Now, I'm not going to be gaining a ton of life. It could go all the way, but I'm kind of expecting it to be seal away. That's why I brought the Knight of Autumns in. So, you know, we could see. We'll see. Let's go ahead. See if he spends some mana here. Any seal aways? No seal aways. All right. We're going to get into a Branch Walker. Man, I should have played a land to allow me to play around Syncopate. He syncopates me here. Yeah, you guys got me. You can have me on a punt right there. Yeah, you got me on a punt. Chupa going all the way. Well, I left the Chupas in because I'm worried about Niv Mizzet. I'm worried about you know, the Drakes, that sort of thing. Both are really, really devastating. Like, they really are. So it's alright, though. I mean, we keep making him spend his cards, so come seal away, come seal away, come seal away with me. No, don't come seal me away. This has got to deal 20 points of damage, so this thing's got to swing 7 times for 21 points. No seal away. No seal away. That's decent. I will play the land and get into combat. Wow. This is kind of one of those situations where you're like, you don't want to do anything else, right? You're like, I don't want to add anything else to the board until you deal with this. But Militia Bugler will draw us a card. So we leave green, green, black. I need to leave green and green white open. So we're going to go Militia Bugler. This will leave me open to the most outs here if it resolves for playing a second spell. Yeah, I kind of figure he had another spell there. Like, it might have been better for us to just not to play anything, to let him, like, so he wouldn't get the surveil. He did put it on top of his library, so it wouldn't have helped us any. Right, and then I would have been, oh man, I would have been able to just kill this turn. All right, so there goes our yeah, I'm going to do it now while he's tapped. Yeah, I would have been able to kill on their turn, and then I just wouldn't have had a whole lot going on for my turn. There is another Teferi. Yeah. We got a card for that. Second one incoming. Yeah, you got it. Teferi, I hold you in contempt. Teferi says, hold on, let me go back in time for a minute. And he's no longer in contempt. Yeah. Talk about nightmare scenario, right? Then we get countered on whatever we play. Oh. Alright, I am going to try to apply pressure with a Choop. Oh, Chupacabra. Now we're getting all the lands, we're hitting all the things. Just doesn't matter. Sinister Sabotage. We've been sabotaged. You just had to say something, it goes down. So this is the exact reason you want Carnage Tyrant in these decks, guys. Like, Azoni's cool, all these other cards are really cool, but Carnage Tyrant gets the job done. And that's saying something. I mean, like, Carnage Tyrant just really gets the job done. So I am going to play the Adanto before I play the Ravenous Chupacabra to see if he has some way to stop the Adanto. And he may no longer be worried about Adanto now that he has a Crackling Drake. He is thinking about it, though. He's going to go ahead and pay those costs. Sinister Sabotage. We've been sabotaged again. Well, no dive down. Alright. Well, you do not have the money for Carney T, so you try to build your decks without him, and you usually play your own brews and paper. Understood. And I still think Carnage Tyrant is, he's worth the investment. I mean, just the number of games you're going to win because you're playing with that card, it's pretty high. Like, it's pretty high. Just Guy sucks at being fair, right? Yeah, that's control, man. We're already dead. We just don't know it yet. Like, this game is long. Like, when that second Teferi landed and stuck, we were dead. The fact that old Chupacabra is just, like, getting wasted to a Ralzeric. Yeah. Taco Bell. I love Taco Bell. I haven't eaten at Taco Bell in, like, a year, but still like Taco Bell. Like, I remember liking Taco Bell. Ooh, look! We get to duress our opponent 20 turns too late. How about before he lands a Teferi, huh? The old classic, I'll scoop to see in your hand. A play set of Carney T is like 130 bucks last you checked. Wow. That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. That would pay for your manatraders for like an entire year. Yeah. Yeah. For a playset of Carnage Tyrants, you could pay for your manatraders for an entire year. That's without discount, right? That'll buy Netflix for a year. That'll buy Hulu for a year. Xbox Live for a year. Like, whatever. Man, how many reoccurring things do we just have in our life nowadays, right? Like, whew. Like, you gotta have your subscription to this. You gotta have your subscription to YouTube Red. That's right. Watch on YouTube Red. You don't get advertisements, but you pay for it. Okay. Well, I think what we seen here was just a side effect of not having, you know, the card that makes this deck good versus control decks. Winning Magic is better than Hulu, right? So get manatraders and build whatever you want, play whatever you want. There's paper rentals and manatraders. Remember how expensive Jace Rent's Prodigy was? Oh man. So I started playing with Jace back when he was $12 a piece, right? Michael Majors had just built Sphinx's tutelage meal. It was the it's one of the only times in my Magic career that I played a mill deck. It was that and a blue-black control deck back in you know, Nephalia Drownyard days. But that was a blue-black control deck with like no win con in it, and it just slowly milled you out with Nephalia Drown Yards. But Michael Majors built that Sphinx's Tutelage deck, and I got, like, no one was playing Dre Severan's Prodigy. Everybody was like, man, that card is just horrible. And then, like, the next set come out and we had fetch lands, and all of a sudden he was no longer horrible, right? So I got all mine really cheap while everybody thought that he was just a horrible card. I picked up a play set of them because I needed it for the mill deck, and they're like, well, it only gets play in mill. And I'm like, I know, and I'm going to play that deck. So I've still got my J Severan Prodigies. I doubt they're worth a ton now, but, you know, whatever. I think I sold my Japanese one. I traded it to a dude for 3 copies of Kalitas. Back when he was like 85 bucks. You know, I got like $65 worth of trade. But I needed the Kalitas or the Kalitases to go to a PPTQ. And then I won that PPTQ. So that was fun. Would like to see that build, Nathan. What you got, Nathan? What I missed? Nathan, you've been successfully running an Abzan Dinos build since the season began. If it hadn't been for picking up a pair of Carnage Tyrants when its price dropped during Rivals, that would have been different, right? So Carnage Tyrant's really, really important in these builds. So I'm just going to kind of hammer that home instead of like talking about any of the other aspects of this deck. This deck needs Carnage Tyrant. I guess I should hit one more. It needs Carnage Tyrant and Vivian Reed, which basically means the deck needs to be Golgari. I don't think that the deck needs pretty much any of these particular white cards. Vivian Reed would be better at getting you any card, and then you no longer need restrictions. You don't have to run things that are 2 power or less. So, you know, then that means you no longer have to really worry about Mentor of the Meek. You get to use Vivian Reed as your card draw. So if you had like 3 Vivian Reeds and 2 Carnage Tyrants, you know, you could get rid of the other 2 Mentor of the Meeks. You wouldn't need Izoni as much anymore. I mean, there's a lot going on here. I think the extra slots that you might have available, I would change those over to Seeker Squires, just to give you some more, you know, options here with your Wild Growth Walkers. Also, Wild Growth Walker is a 4-of is a little bit dead. Like, he's a really bad card in some of your decks, or against some decks. It's just not enough aggression, and you're so reliant on having, you know, Explorer, you know, mechanics there, that running cards like Militia Bugler, Mentor of the Meek, and Adanto Vanguard means that you're going to have hands where you just have a Wild Growth Walker and a Militia Bugler and an Adanto Vanguard, and your Militia Bugler finds a Mentor of the Meek. Like, these things are going to happen, so, yeah. By the way, you want to happily report your build of White Weenies, beat the meta build of White Weenies this previous FNM. Nice. Nice. Well, I would probably stick to the White Weenie deck over this current build until you get the chance to get some Carnage Tyrants and get in here. I think you're just going to be hurt really bad by control decks. So, right, so Golgari Splash for Adanto. Yeah, it seems good. Seems real good. And then, like, you probably don't need these 4 cards, which are supposed to be Llanowar Elf. Yeah, I mean, then you're just getting back to Golgari. But that's kind of why, like, Golgari is what it is. Plague Crafter and Journey to Eternity. I think that one of these paths could easily be a Journey to Eternity. But as soon as I start playing cards like Journey to Eternity, then I automatically start wanting Thrashing Brontodons and things like that. Brontodon's actually a really good card. If you're set to be able to play J-Light Ranger, you could play Brontodon. Brontodon's a little bit more favorable than Knight of Autumn, but Knight of Autumn is just a decent card anyway, so play more Lyra. I don't think Lyra's in as good of a spot as you might think. I just don't. Yeah. Yeah, but playing the meta version is no fun. Fair enough. Even if you don't play the meta version, take your winnings. Don't get packs with those winnings. Save your store credit, assuming your store allows you to do that. Save your store credit and cash them in, man. Like, be like, hey, look, next Carnage Tyrant that drops on that shelf, let me pick that up, right? Like, you know I got store credit. Let me pick that up. So, yeah, that's what I would do anyway. That's how I got most of my cards. Alright, you just win them. Okay, so we're going to move on into Sultai Reanimator. Alright, so let me pull this over here where we can see it a little bit better. What's up, Link? Wow. Gain control of target creature with power 2 or less for the first side of that, and that's 4 mana. And then we get Concoct. Concoct says Surveil 3, so we get to do our surveilling, then return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. We are not targeting that creature, which is a little bit weird, but I think that's how it has to be worded for the ruling, so that you can get away with surveilling and then doing it. So, yeah. You have credit for Allegiance box. See, there you go. There you go. Stack up that credit, get some Allegiance boxes, stuff like that. You don't know about Concoct? So expensive. It is, but I'd rather pay 5 mana for a 6 mana card than pay 6 mana for it. How about pay 5 mana for a Lot Lift Giant? Also, how about I no longer have to worry about throwing cards into my graveyard because I can just concoct them back. Like, that's kind of like one of the freedoms that this will allow you. We do have Journey to Eternity. I know a lot of it, like we were talking about Journey to Eternity earlier. Everyone likes Journey to Eternity. I wanted to see this card work so much. The card's really, really good. In Muldrotha decks, though, I like to have an artifact. Araska Relic has been my favorite in the Muldrotha decks. Just because, like, once you finally get to Ascend and things, that you can basically, like, crack this thing, draw a card, gain some life, and bring it back every single turn, which is absolutely, you know, just terrific. I don't like playing Journey to Eternity without Thrashing Brontodon. Now, the reason for that is because you can attach this to a Thrashing Brontodon, use 1 mana to activate Brontodon's ability, targeting your own Journey to Eternity. Brontodon will then die, go to the graveyard, trigger the flip on Journey to Eternity. It will come back flipped as a land, will no longer be an enchantment, will no longer be the same card technically, and then it will... not technically, but, you know, by the rules, it will be a new instance of that card. So it will no longer be targeted by the Brontodon trigger, which is still on the stack. Which means that then Brontodon comes back. You didn't even lose your Brontodon. You just paid 1 mana to flip Journey to Eternity at instant speed. So I really like Journey with a Brontodon. We don't have that here. We'll see that we're running World Shaper, which World Shaper dies, you put all land cards from your graveyard straight back onto the battlefield. And you may, when it attacks, you may put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard, so it'll help dump cards into the graveyard. We have other cards for that. We can dump with Stitcher Supplier. We can dump with Glowspore Shaman. We've got Land of War Elves to help get us into other cards. A card that I'm not used to playing with here is Abnormal Endurance. Some of you guys might have called this Sinister Laughing or Sinister Sabotage. Not Sinister Sabotage. What was it? It was like 1 mana. But until end of turn, target creature gets +2/+0 and gains when this creature dies. Return it to the battlefield, tapped under its owner's control. This was a different card in the last set. They ended up making it 2 mana. So, yeah. I forget what the other card was, but it was basically the same card. They reprinted it again. Supernatural Stamina, right. The joke was it was Sinister Laughing, because when you did it, you would be like, yeah, there you go, aka Sinister Laughing, because you snicker and laugh as they kill your creature, you know. It's like, this is pretty good. But anyway, Abnormal Endurance, not a bad card. Plague Crafter, not a bad card. I like Plague Crafter, and it's a good way to sack your Stitcher Supplier, upgrading your 1/1 to a 3/1. We then have, you know, Izoni, Dream Eater, Underrealm Lich. We've got Lot Lift Giants, and then the Connive Concocts. So the goal here is to dump a ton of cards into the graveyard, get those cards back, and then, yeah, there we go. that was one of your pet cards. I really liked that card. That card was a lot of fun, and at 1 mana, it was definitely worth playing. We played a couple in the mono black deck, and it was just really, really good. Question though, why abnormal endurance instead of verdant rebirth? I can't answer it. I don't know what verdant rebirth does. Alright, so Verdant Rebirth says, until end of turn, target creature gains. When this creature dies, return to the battlefield. Not return it to the battlefield, return it to its owner's hand, draw a card. So you still have to cast it again, right? This goes straight back to the battlefield. And you can use this aggressively to block things bigger than your creature. So I like Abnormal Endurance over this Verdant Rebirth card. I like drawing cards, but I like the idea of 2-for-1ing our opponent a little bit more. I mean, you're still 2-for-1ing, but we're going to get our creature back, possibly our enter the battlefield our trigger. We're not going to have to pay for that to get that creature back onto the battlefield, and we buffed it, which might end up causing it to kill their opposing creature. So, like, those are all my reasons. But you would really have to ask the deck builder himself, you know, for more information. All right, so we've got a ton of just like answers here. So, right, Rebirth replaces itself, but you get more out of, like, you still have to recast the creature. So, Hostage Takers, we got Vraska's Contempt, we've got Phyrexian Scriptures. I love Phyrexian Scriptures. In a Muldrotha deck, you can just keep playing this enchantment every single turn. Just make Muldrotha, you know, big artifact. Sprouting Renewal, Convoke. It's got, we can make an elf, or we can destroy a target artifact or enchantment. We've got Sorcerer's Spyglass to shut down like Teferis and things. We could just rip Niv-Mizzets out of their deck. We've got Grawl Harpooner against, you know, flying creatures. We've got Fine Finale against, you know, control matchups, or even if we need to sweep the board. We've also got Eldest Reborn, and then we get Nizahal, and we've got a couple copies of Duress. So, just a lot of like little ways to tweak the deck out to make it a little bit better in certain interactions. Normally when you see a sideboard that is so many 1s and 2-ofs, it means that the deck has a pretty good shot in game 1, and then you just need to kind of tweak it a little bit per matchup. So, Sprouting Renewal should be Reclamation Sage, right? Because you always get to destroy target artifact or enchantment, and you get the 2/1 elf, right? I can get behind that. Also, because this is a Reanimator Muldrotha style deck, you could play the Reclamation Sage from the graveyard. 100%. I can get behind this needs to be Reclamation Sage. Does that mean this needs to be Kite's Elf Rebooter to give us even more value? I don't know. It's a good question. All right, let's jump to the lobby and see if we can get a game. All right, Sultai Reanimator. Dream Eater. How popular is Fall of Thrawn on MTGO? It's not. I've seen some of the mono white Fall of Thrawn lists. They're not bad. The list isn't bad at all. But I'm not seeing it like high on popularity list. Whew. Problem with running all these big cards. Sometimes you got a hand with big cards in it. And you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them. Know when to walk away and know when to run. We're going to run with this. That's probably not bad. Watery Grave just brings in everything untapped here. So, yeah. The 8-mana combo, Fall of Thrawn into Remorseful Cleric, sack Remorseful Cleric, and you just win. So, like, I think that's the play. We'll see. There you go. Thank you. As long as the deck list looks like it's a... As long as the link looks like it's a deck list, by all means, post it. But I recommend you guys post your decks over on... I'm just going to bring this in tap and play this slow. I recommend post your decks over on the Reddit. Like, I mean, you might get 1 or 2 people to look at a particular deck list here, but if you really want like some feedback and stuff like that on it, then you know, post it on the Reddit. You'll get more feedback. I was being greedy here, right? Like, I could have Plaguecrafted him and went from there, but oh yeah, we'll just get our Memorial down. We'll kill the Brontodon. Takes chair to the face, just doesn't even care. Man, it's brutal. Right. Well, Jareth, we'll see you when you get done working on stuff, sir. Well, this is going a little slow. I'm going to turn the music up a little bit. We'll go from here. I guess we just Bladecrafter again. We need a 16-16 to be bringing back with this. Right, 16-16 indestructible. Let's go. Glowspore might be decent. We get to do both, right? I would rather have a 3-2 than a 3-1. So I'll play Glowspore, then play the Plaguecrafter, sack the Glowspore. I mean, it seems okay. Do I want that Memorial of Folly? Probably not. So I'm not going to use its ability. We'll play Plaguecrafter. We'll get rid of the Glowspore Shaman. He gets rid of Jade Light Ranger. And we move on. Tindershoot Dryads. Like, alright, so there's another J-Light. Oh, man, all the mismatching lands. Look, he's got a Guru land, he's got a full art land, you got a non-foil Guru. No, and then, like, what is that? What set is that? Lorwyn? Lorwyn block? What does this do? With power to or less. Brr. These Plaguecrafters have killed so much. Getting in. If he doesn't trade, then it's okay. He does trade. Alright, so I need to be looking at how I expect to spend the next turn. So it costs 3 mana and this, so we can set these 4 mana aside. We could play a 2 mana card. I would really like to just get back my World Shaper. I think I'm just going to get back World Shaper this turn. Let's do that. I think that's a fine play. I think just getting back World Shaper is perfectly acceptable. And we'll take back... Alright, so Surveil 3. Alright, well, we're definitely going to put that in the graveyard. We're going to put World Shaper in the graveyard. And you know what? I'll actually put Stitcher Supplier on top. And then we'll grab World Shaper back. Let's go from there. Stitcher Supplier just lets us dump more and more stuff. So, yeah. Well, as far as lucky concocts go, like, there's not a lot to really get lucky with. Like, there's just not a ton of, yeah. There's just not a ton of stuff in the graveyard, which is another reason I wanted to get the World Shaper and more like dredge type cards where we just dump more into the graveyard so that we can make the most use out of this next concoct. So we'll see how that goes. Memorial to Folly. Sir, you don't scare me. You got to kill this World Shaper at some point. I get all of that back. I'll take a black source. Please have 3 power. Whatever you play needs to have 3 power. Otherwise, you can't kill this World Shaper, and I'm going to be mad. He did shuffle away my my Stitcher Supplier, though. That'll do. That will do. I think I swing straight into this. I mean, when it attacks, we're going to mill 3. When it dies, we put all land cards from our graveyard on the battlefield. Like, worst case scenario, we just punch him for 3, right? Yes, we would love to mill 3 more. All right, so we milled Izoni, we milled Underrealm Lich, and we milled a Varaska Golgari Queen. We'll move the blocks and see what happens here. Hey, he's gonna block. Yeah. Alright, so what else do I want back here? Creature count in the graveyard is 1. If I take that, it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Izoni doesn't look bad here. I'll do it. It could be more if we get a lucky concoct. Like you guys are saying in chat. The good old lucky concoct. Alright, so Surveil 3. And we're going to go graveyard, graveyard, top of the library. We want back Izoni. Izoni enters the battlefield. We get a little bit of there we go. I mean, he may have answers for this. I mean, we could just run into, like, Galta or something like that. I'm not, like, super worried about Galta, but it probably should be, right? Alright, so, just to let you guys know, we've got Jizza and, not Madness, but, McFats are actually in-game. They're actually they've got front row seats, right? Can't do that on Arena. I know, it's still Arena's a thing. I kept up enough land to be able to activate this, so if he swings, we need something like a Brontodon, right? Alright, so I'm going to go green, black, activate, sack a dude, draw a card, gain a life. Because that's cool. We get our Varaska. Can't do anything about this. But we can play Varaska. Just get rid of the Brontodon. Boom! Just a boom. Good old Brash taking the beats. Now what do we want to do? We definitely want to play our land. Would we like to pay the life? I don't think so. Maybe I should have done the math and get this one. 1, 2, 3. No, we couldn't have double activated Memorial anyway, so no point paying it. We can activate Memorial and sack a dude to Izoni though. So that is a Carnage Tyrant. He tapped out for it. Alright, so he taps out for Carnage Tyrant. In response, I sack a Memorial of Volley and get back a Plague Crafter. Yeah. Helm of the Host. It does need to actually be attached to a creature in order to make it work. One, two, three, four. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I mean, I can always sack it with Varaska if I want to, right? Alright, so we're just gonna do this. Just do a little bit of a sack option here. A Plague Crafter. We'll get rid of an insect. He'll get rid of the thing he wants to put a Helm of the Host on. We will jump into combat. And the opponent give us the GGs. I mean, we have other actions. We can uptick the Varaski Golgari Queen. We could, play the World Shaper, things like that. Looks like he's going to let us play it out, though. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll just sack the World Shaper right off the bat. We get more lands back. Yeah, I can actually pay that. And then I play a land for the turn. Yeah, I'll pay it. I ain't screwed. This gives me enough mana to activate Memorial again this turn. So whatever he plays, we just make him sack it. Yeah. Some of you like this song, some of you don't. You can get rid of all the Carnage Tyrants here on Mordigo. We could bring in Eldest Reborn over Underrealm Lich. Fine Finale's okay. Don't really like Unmordigo, but might be worth it. Duress, I don't think so. I mean, the opponent was trying to play like some mono green stompy list or something like that. Phyrexian Scriptures is probably pretty good. I'll take that over a World Shaper. Like, World Shaper is just kind of a little weak for us. We know he's got Thrashing Brontodons. Stream down. Stream shouldn't be down. We shouldn't have stream down. Reminds you of System of a Down. Right, Unmoored Ego, and we'll call his Forest, right? That seems great. But we don't need to do it till like turn 5 or 6 when he... Like, we need to let him already get enough Forest to play his deck. And then we thin his deck for him. Yeah, I'm seeing good numbers over here. So... I think I could cut like maybe... Uno Mas World Shaper. And I'm actually going to bring in this Unmoored Ego. I'll call Carnage Tyrant. I ain't scared. I just ain't. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Oh! Tag! Rush is out of here. He's gonna hit the sack. Well, sir, have a good one. You've been begging for earlier streams. You'll get your opportunity Wednesday. Got a lot going on Wednesday, man. Spyglass is Helm of the Host. If we're being serious. Yeah, that's doable. Equipping is an activated ability, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure you have to activate, like, equip. Glowspore Shaman's not bad. Like, this hand ain't horrible. It really has a lot of setup to get into this concoct. Sure. Right, we got to get through all those Jade lights and all of that stuff, so, yeah. It just hits things with activated abilities. Like, if it hit lands, it'll hit the artifacts. So, Memorial to Unity. Like, if I bring Memorial to Folly in on turn 1, then I'm either paying life on turn 2 to bring in something else so I can get the Glowspore Shaman down, like with the Overgrown Tomb. But if I bring the Overgrown or the Watery Grave in on 1, then I just don't have to pay life later. And I just feel that I could probably sneak that Memorial down at a later point and still be able to cast spells. Like, turn 3 looks really good. You'll just play a Glowspore Shaman and then play a tap land. That seems fine. So, but the opponent doesn't have Muldroth though. Why would we bring it in? All right. Well, it is definitely Glowspore Shaman time. So here we go. We'll start the fun. Let the fun begin. Begin. Yeah, whatever. Abnormal Endurance, Journey to Eternity, and Atlanta War Elves. Blech. That's just terrible. That's just terrible. Jared, you're back with us? What's up, sir? There's a Jade Light Ranger. Well, you can't get big enough to successfully block. So, he revealed Carnage Tyrant, Field of Ruin. Alright. Did not, like, he got the Field of Ruin and he left the Carnage Tyrant on top. This could become a thing. I'll give him a target for the Field of Ruin. Like, I would love for him to get into a slugfest with us, where he just didn't block. Like, I would hate for him to play like Threshing Brontodon next turn, right? Because it would just like put the brakes on us. But for him to get into a slugfest and like not block here and start taking damage, and then later we get to kill a bunch of things, get this Lotlip giant out, that would be really good. So, either way, we're gonna keep going with the setup plan here. Alright, well, we milled Unmoored Ego, Atlanta War Elves, and a Verasco Golgari Queen. Right, you cannot respond to mana abilities, they do not use the stack. So. Ooh. Ooh. I think we come in tapped this turn. Let's get a little bit more information here. All right, what are we looking like on creature count here? We've got oh, there's a Plague Crafter. There is a Plague Crafter. All right, so we get Plague Crafter. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do I swing with Close Force Shaman, or wait, and then he can't swing? Like, because if I swing with it this turn, he blocks one, then I can't swing next turn. Sean Cold Iron, what's up, sir? How you doing, Sean? Haven't caught the stream in a while. How's it going? Well, it's going good, sir. We're gonna be doing some Wizards sponsored content on Wednesday, so you know, welcome back to the channel, and you know, if you've got nothing better going on Wednesday, I hope you catch the show. All right, so right now he's trying to get rid of Memorial to Folly. Oh no, there's a Helm of the Host. Okay, so we really need to kill his creatures. I don't think he attacks. All right. Why would he? Okay. Right. Well, I'm doing it stream. I'm going to do it. I don't care. Have you guys seen how much it costs to equip this thing? It's 5 mana to equip it. Yeah. I'm just... Oh yeah, we're going graveyard, graveyard, graveyard. I'll throw all of that in the graveyard. And then just give me a Plague Crafter back. I mean, I guess I could have just left the Plague Crafter on top. But I think if I leave anything on top, then... I'll just get rid of Plague Crafter. I think if I leave anything on top, he just, like, cracks something with a Field of Ruin. The reason I got rid of the Plague Crafter here is because I punch for 6 damage right here, right? And we're secretly just trying to set up to get a huge... to get a death blow in here with a Lot Giant. We know that this is probably the turn we see Carnage Tyrant, right? So it's definitely something to look out for. I mean, if he taps out for Carnage Tyrant here, he's in a lot of trouble, though. So Duress might have hit that Helm. Why are you guys so worried about that Helm? That Helm has done nothing to you. It has been such a friendly little Helm of the Host. It hasn't hurt anything. See, yeah, leaving Plague Crafter on top wouldn't have done us any good. It's more powerful in the graveyard. Like, the Helm is not dangerous. Why do you think we don't play it? Why do you think it's not, like, a great card? It's awesome when it works, but it's not actually that dangerous. Nullhide Ferox. I think he's just dead, yeah. Ooh, look, a Close Force Shaman. Alright, so I'm going to go land. Then we're going to go... What's our count? Let's look at the creature count here, the undergrowth count, right? So we get 1... Let's just pull this out so we can look at it, right? Alright, so we've got Plague Crafter for 1. We've got another Plague Crafter for 2. Dream Eater for 3. Lana Wars 4. Glow Spore Shamans 5. Lana War Elves 6. So we can do 6 damage from the graveyard right now. Let's go ahead and kill this Nullhide Ferox. Right, so we've got 6 in the grave right now. Graveyard, graveyard, graveyard. That's 9 in the graveyard. We're going to get back Plague Crafter. We'll both sack creatures. I'm sacking Plague Crafter. We're just going right back to 9 in the graveyard. He'll get rid of Nullhide Ferox. We punch in for 6 points of damage and just play Nullhide Ferox, or play our Lot Lift Giant next turn. So, bam. Just easy wins, guys. Just easy wins. He refuses to play the Carnage Tyrant. Need one more mana? Well, we'll get there. We'll get there on the mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I can just play the Glowspore Shaman and put another mana on top of my library. We'll get there. Really should blow up the Helm. How do we blow up the Helm? What has that Helm done to you? It cost 5 mana just to equip it. Yeah, so we'll Stitcher Supplier. Dump even more cards in the grave. Glowspore. Put Memorial. Oh, I probably shouldn't have put Memorial to Folly on top, right? Yeah, that's probably bad, putting Memorial to Folly on top. Alright, well. I mean, he can't really take 6 points of damage here. I mean, even if he Helm of the Host next turn. Alright. Okay. Opponent won't block. It doesn't matter. Yeah, he has to block. He can't go to 2 because then he's dead on crackback, right? Then we have 4 attackers. And even if he makes the, like, uses 5 of his 6 mana to attach the Helm. So, yeah. Okay, so he can play Shalai, attach it to Shalai, and still die. It's only 2 blockers, and... Okay, so it is target opponent, right? Yeah, I messed up by putting the wrong land on top. I just don't think it really matters. Yeah, I should have played the other land. I mean, it's technically going to matter. But... yeah. This deck's been really good. That's what I get for having non-matching basics? Oh, that's what he gets for having non-matching basics. Understood. So now if he even swings with his 2 Carnage Tyrants, like, that's 14 points of damage. That's not enough. So, Helm on Carnage Tyrant. Boom! Man, he tapped that mana quick. Then he just, bam. Put that on that Carnage Tyrant. I got 2 Carnage Tyrants. I'm going to win the game. I got 2 Carnage Tyrants. Or not. Woo! Like, you all wanted to see Helm of the Host do its thing anyway. Just kill him. Helm of the Host has yet to hurt us at all. Alright? Just saying, like, you guys are wanting to spend, like, effort and stuff trying to get rid of the Helm when dealing with the creatures is better than dealing with the Helm. I mean, the creatures can... Alright, here we go. The opponent said that we won because he made a mistake, and I don't know what he's got in hand, but I don't think that he had much of a chance at winning there anyway, so maybe he had something, but we just had answers to everything. Alright, that was the Connive Concoct deck. That was a lot of fun, wasn't it? Just tons of answers, having fun, being able to bring things back. Opponent's just salty. Well, sometimes people get a little salty, okay? So what you guys think about that deck, right? At least he tried, right? And he didn't scoop on us. He played it out. He played to the very end. He made me kill him. You know, kudos to you, opponent. Vegas 13817, whatever his name was. But yeah, good on you. Good on you there, Vegas, for sticking around. All right, so I liked this deck. This deck was a lot of fun, right? Like, it's like we just had answers to everything. We can do stuff. Personally, I think cards like Journey to Eternity and possibly Abnormal Endurance, like those cards are just kind of in the way. I loved Glowspore Shaman, the versatility of using it with cards like Memorial of Folly. That was really, really good, allowing us to select cards from our graveyard where we have a chance at seeing more cards. The surveil mechanics were really, really good. Like, there's definitely some backbone here to this. So, yeah. No offense to whoever made the deck. What'd you say, Jack? It needed more rush. No offense to whoever made the deck. Okay. It just didn't have enough jank in it, huh? Right? Why is no one calling lands? One could name a basic land with Spyglass, but it would have no effect. No, someone called Swamp on us the other night, and they pulled 4 swamps out of our deck. We were assuming that it was a land destruction deck. We were playing Mono Black Burn, and he called Swamp. He just took 4 swamps, and okay, yeah. Spyglass would be banned in the format if it could. Oh, Spyglass calling. I thought you guys were talking about Mortigo. My bad. Yeah, Spyglass. It can't stop mana abilities in a basic land. A swamp has the ability on it, tap, add 1 black mana to your mana pool. Swamps are not black, they're actually colorless. Lands are colorless, they produce colored mana. Just little bits of information for you. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. That the opponent calling Swamp yesterday. It was funny. Yeah. All right. This was a cool deck. Who was the builder of this deck? I forget. I think it might have been Abnar. Abnar has built some pretty cool decks for us over time. I've had some fun with them. So next we're going to get into James Carr's deck. A lot of you probably know James Carr from chat. He's pretty active here in the channel. You know what? Let's get fancy for this last one, right? Let's pull some prettier lands, shall we? Waiting on good old MTGO. You got James on Facebook? You know, I can see that. Like, I'm also friends with James on Facebook. I can see a lot of similarities between you two. I bet you two would get along pretty well. Alright, so we'll get rid of those. Put in something a little flashier. And then we'll go down here and get rid of the Islands. Where's my full arts? I bet it's because I don't have that many. I bet I don't have that many islands. There we go. Look at that. All super flashy and matching. Right? Was talking crap about the other dude. I don't even know if our lands matched. They do now. All right, so James is he put some deck building restrictions on this deck, right? It has to have a Merfolk in the art in order to play it. Now, I don't know if I have all the right versions, but I think I've got them. You've got all the way up into the sideboard. We've got Merfolk on the Spell Pierce. We've got Merfolk on the negates. On Dive Down, River's Rebuke, Entrancing Melody. There's Merfolk everywhere here. When we look at the main board, I like that the fact that the majority of the deck tops out at 3 converted mana cost. We do have some 4-drops here, but the majority of the deck is going to be extremely cheap to cast, and it's just a Merfolk aggressive Merfolk deck, not like a ton of things going on except for good Merfolk interactions. Now we do have Deep Root Waters. Some Merfolk, some Merfolk list run this, and some Merfolk list don't. But yeah, Alright, Deep Root Waters, whenever you cast a Merfolk spell, create a 1/1 blue Merfolk creature token with hexproof. We've got other things that whenever a Merfolk enters the battlefield under your control, you get to put a +1/1 counter on target Merfolk you control. So as we're casting, we might be triggering more and then putting more stuff on our Merfolk, putting more counters, making those counters, those Merfolk bigger. One of the big payouts for running Merfolk is Kumena, Tyrant of Araska. Kumena is actually really, really powerful, guys. It's got 3 different abilities on it. All of them are extremely relevant because you start stacking +1/1 counters on Kumena, then you can just tap a single Merfolk, even if it just came into the battlefield. Summoning sick, you can still tap it to activate Kumena's ability because he's not tapping to his own ability, he's tapping to someone else's ability. So Kumena you can tap 1 Merfolk and Kumena's unblockable. You can tap up to 3 Merfolk to draw a card, which is pretty easy to wait till declaring blockers, and then you can tap down the ones you're going to lose, draw a card off of them, and then you can tap down 5 Merfolk, put a +1/1 counter on each Merfolk you control. Now this is actually a really good +1/1 counter deck. There's a lot of new Merfolk coming. There's probably going to be a lot of fun that can be had with this deck. With the new set, I look forward to seeing what people are brewing and what people are playing with the Simic list. But for now, we're going to play the Merfolk list. We're going to get into it and see if we can get funky. Right? Yeah, Merfunk. Let's do it. In all seriousness, Merfolk was your first deck. Mine was Elves. You know that though. You and Joe put me on it. Yeah, I think that's a good place to start someone out. Make people... Yeah, Dive Down's in the sideboard, Jason. Dive Down, Spell Pierce, Negate, Entrancing Melody, River's Rebuke. The big question for me was no Song of Freyalise? That's what I was looking at. Like, no song? So... Go for it, McFats. Can you beat the Merfolk with your jank? No unclaimed territory? I was looking at that as well. Looks like we got Jake MMG. Would we like to play first? We win the dice roll. Alright, so pretty bad on the lands here. One of these was a shock land. This would be really, really good. Super slow hand. I'm going to mulligan it. This looks more playable. I'll keep. I hate this Woodland stream, but we're just going to bring it down on turn 1 and then just kind of opens this up. So, the opponent is deciding whether or not to mulligan to 4, ladies and gentlemen. Brutal. The art restriction in the deck list. That's what James was trying to do. He was trying to just, have some fun with it. I'm going to leave that land on top. I would love to make sure that I hit my 3rd land. And if I hit a couple extra, then I'll deal with that. But for right now, we'll leave that land on top. It should smooth things out. So we'll just, Woodland stream, pass, and go from there. Stop throwing chairs at me. I don't have to keep proving to people why. I know. Aww. Had no friends in high school. Somebody wasn't a tryhard. Um, you got to work at keeping friends. Friends require attention, and you kind of got to give a little bit back to friends, right? Like you can't just be all about you when it comes to friends. So I don't know. No, I'm not saying that that was the problem, but I'm just saying it's one of those things. I think I just want to deep root waters here. Our opponent's in a really bad position, and if we can get a deep root waters out, we're looking at double spelling next turn, which would be pretty good. So yeah, I'm gonna deep root waters. Attention. Gotta give people attention. 0 mana dredge? Yeah. He never got his other land. He was about to get beat down. Don't know what he's playing. Probably just... I think Jade Light's like the weakest card in this deck. I'm only bringing in a Trancing Melody. I don't know enough about what's going on to bring in more things. Could probably get away with like a Spell Pierce or a Dive Down or something like that, but I want to keep my aggression up. River's Rebuke's probably like would just break his back. I'm thinking if he's Golgari, I'll just steal you know, Wild Growth Walker at some point or something like that, and we just go from there. But, yeah. I mean, there's probably other cards I could bring in, but see, I also probably should have took out a Tempest Caller instead of Sleep Oracle. Tempest Caller is still pretty decent in this matchup, though. This is okay. It's not the greatest hand, but having the Lords makes it playable for sure. He did keep 7 cards. Golgari Guildgate. Go. Alright. Alright, Jake. You love Rakdos, even though you don't like the Spectacle. So I think the Spectacle mechanic is by far the worst mechanic we got out of the new set. Like, it just is. It's bad. I'm looking at like Trickster Go. Yeah. Yeah, that's a very bad, like, he's playing Guild Gates, like, so this may not just be a normal Golgari list, like, we're seeing Guild Gates, Watery Graves, like, I don't know exactly what's going on, but we're gonna find out. I am going to be aggressive, though. I mean, this is an aggressive deck. I think that we should make aggressive plays, so I'm gonna go for the aggressive plays. We get more points on the battlefield, and we have a bigger chance at high payout by playing Jungleborn Pioneer here over playing, you know, Kamina. And we make the most of our mana by playing Jungleborn Pioneer over Kamina. He may just counter this, which that's also something I would rather have this countered than having Kamina countered. So just Jungleborn Pioneer, give me a 3 power on 2 bodies and go from there. Otherwise, give me one of your counter spells and we'll move on. So you think Rakdos Spectacle is going to be good? Maybe good, but I think the other decks are going to be more powerful. I just don't see Rakdos. Like, I see some of the Spectacle cards showing up in like Punisher Burn, and Punisher Burn possibly becoming like a real deck. Like, if you want to play the Burn archetype, that might be plausible. So, more gates. More gates, more gates, more gates. Oh, wow. Are we playing an Ali and Trazi deck? Oh my goodness, is this an Ali and Trazi deck? Land. Come on. Untap land. I'll take it. I'm gonna go for the gusto here. Go for the high high payoff play. There's a lot of risk involved with this play. I do want to point that out. That if he has a way to sweep the board, then there's a huge, huge risk here. We will see, though. However, if his best option is a blocker of some sort, that's not going to work. Like, he needs to... Yeah, there we go. There's the huge risk I was talking about. So, Deafening Clarion. Guild Summit with no real value. Alright, well... Kamena. Mistbinder, go. Oh, the Guild Summit deck that Zach Stillo made? Yeah. Yeah. I think that, like, even this deck will get more support, you know, of course. Like, there's a ton of new cards that are coming out for the deck. Cleansing Nova. Alright, well, I mean, he's down to 2 cards in hand, though, but as he gets these guild gates, he's going to keep drawing cards. This is a little bit of a problem. I didn't produce green. I could have sworn I clicked green. Oversight. Turning off my auto yields. I think I accidentally passed. Yeah, there we go. Because I want to play the land. Mardu sack white for Afterlife plus Blackburn and Spectacle. So, as far as like rating them, it's definitely Afterlife or Riot up at the top, Spectacle or Adept at the very bottom, and then you just kind of got you got the what's the other mechanic? I can't even think of the other mechanic. 5 guilds. What's the other mechanic? Oh, I'm drawing a blank. All right, so Spectacle, Adept, Afterlife, and Riot, and then so that's Orzhov, Simic, Rakdos. What's the other? Oh, Addendum. Addendum. There we go. So I think Addendum is like right in the middle. I don't think that it's like one of the best cards, but yeah, definitely playing in Deep Root Waters here. This is the kind of card we need. So you think Riot, Afterlife, Adept, Spectacle, Addendum. I actually think Addendum is more powerful than Adept or Spectacle. Just because the actual Addendum abilities are better than the actual... yeah, I'm gonna do this. The Addendum abilities are better than the Adept abilities. Now, there's a lot of other abilities on those cards that say things like if your creature has a +1/+1 counter, if this creature has a +1/+1 counter put on it, you know, that sort of thing. And those are some really, really powerful abilities, but Adept itself doesn't actually trigger those abilities or do those things. Yeah, I'm going to put that on top of my library multiple times because it plays with this next turn. You hate Addendum? Fair enough. It's just me rating. Like, I think it's more powerful than, you know, paying 5 mana to put 2 +1/+1 counters on something. Addendum's not going to encourage control players to make bad plays. You don't play control decks to make bad plays. Now, if you've got a Niv Mizzet, I sure may play my instant speed spell in my main phase so that it does 5 damage instead of 3 damage. But they're not going to make bad plays. But I mean, I get where you're coming from, though. Everybody's just going to run wilderness reclamation, and they're going to go like as much instant speed as possible. They get to play all this addendum on their turn. They're still going to untap at the end of their turn and do other sick, busted things to you. So, yeah. Ignore spectacle in your last comment. Okay, so you think adapt is the last one. Okay, fair enough. I mean, everybody's got their own opinion. But I do think that the abilities that go with adapt are extremely strong. I mean, we're just blown out to a board sweeper. Completely blown out to a board sweeper. But now we know what the opponent's deck is, right? So we can change things. We can do things differently. Get in for 2, little Merfolky. You go, Merfolk. Deafening Clarion's gonna be a nightmare. That's what I expect. So. Top rope power bomb, Riot. I think Afterlife might be. I think Afterlife might be the top of the cream of the crop, but multiple riots on a creature is going to be really, really good. So, and we go to the next game. He did good in game 1. He kept us from knowing what he was playing, which is really good. So, all right, so Tempest Caller is out. Entrancing Melody completely out. I would take the Seafloor Oracle at the J-Light Ranger back. 2 additional cards. Spell Pierce and Negates look really good. How do we get rid of 4 other cards? Merfolk Trickster is kind of not exactly what we're looking for. We are looking for like some instant speed interaction. Herald of Secret Streams, we don't need that. This looks fine. Remember me of the Naya list if you guys want to give your opinion. That reminds you of the Naya's list if you guys want to give your opinion. It's not for Sunday streams or anything, just something you thought of today, so you posted it to Reddit. Well, if you posted it to Reddit and it gets the likes, I'm playing it on Sunday, whether it's for Sunday streams or not. So, just saying, the people decide. Power to the peoples. Alright, we'll back off on that. It's an aggressive hand, I will keep. It's a very aggressive hand. We do need to get down enough creatures to outgrow Deafening Clarion, right? So, let the tournament of power commence, right? Yeah, you're right. Tournament of power. So, in order to outgrow a Deafening Clarion, we're going to need to hit some lands. But we're also going to need to get a little bit lucky, so I'm going for it. Here we go. We're just going to Deep Root Elite, and then we're just going to play Merfolk Branchwalker. Try to if we can make this Deep Root Elite outgrow Deafening Clarion, we're going to be in a pretty good situation. So, Fireblade Artist looks pretty good. Like, I think that there's going to be some... He doesn't have white yet, so that's a good start. I hit a land drop for the turn. This will also let me dig for land. Definitely going to be trying to boost this Deep Root Elite. We're trying to get it to 5/5. 5/5 outgrows Lava Coil. I assume... We'll put that on top. draw that next turn. We can play Silvergill Adept, and then draw another card, which could possibly be a land. Ooh. Could he bounce my elite? Yeah, he could bounce the elite. I mean, he's got a bounce spell, he could bounce the elite, but we've seen him destroying our stuff with Deafening Clarions and Lava Coils. So, I think I have to play Silvergill Adept first here to try to hit the land. So, he already knows about the Deep-Root Elite, so revealing the Deep-Root Elite is pretty good. Like, revealing anything else would be giving him extra information, and I don't want to do that. Alright, so he's got to stop Silvergill Adept. Well, then take 5, opponent. Like, if we get to next turn and he still hasn't swept the board, I think I'm just playing Deep Root Waters. Because that's... He's got to be building up for a board sweep. He's just dead. He's dead. He's going way too far behind here. Oh, there it is. There's the white source. All right, so we're coming up on a board sweep right here. Land off the top would be phenomenal. There it is. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so again, we're growing a single Deep-Root Elite, trying to keep that around in order to just kill our opponent. No, we're just going all in on the Deep-Root. He's at 1. It's pretty sweet. So now he has to sweep the board, and we've played around Lava Coil, we've played around Deafening Clarion. There you go. I like this song too. Kind of reminds me of like some Beverly Hills Cop or something like that, but yeah. There you go. Alright, anyway. We're moving on. Yeah, GG easy, right? Fair enough. Merfolk in the Art. It was a cool deck, right? I think this is a Sonic the Hedgehog song, actually. Right? Sonic the Hedgehog. Where's Albatross? He would be able to tell us, like, what genre this is. Albatross is he's a magician. I know a lot of you guys know Alba T. Ross in chat. We haven't seen him much lately. Get wrecked, opponent. The get wrecked. It was a cool deck. Built it on art restrictions, which isn't hard when you're trying to play a Merfolk deck, and you know the Merfolk, like, and the restriction is you got to have Merfolk in the art. That's not a really like hard to accomplish restriction, but all in all, this deck was pretty sweet. I mean, we come up against a pretty crap deck. Everybody knows that the Guild Summit deck was needing pieces. Those pieces are coming. I do like the fact that we've seen people playing with these cards, right? Playing with the Guild Summit deck going, if I get familiar with how it is now, I'll know more about what I need to add to it later. And I like that. I like that the opponent is doing that. So, yeah. Ali Eldrazi? Ali Eldrazi, okay. Do I have any opinions about the red-white land destruction deck from Ali Intrazi? I think it's Atrazi? Ali Intrazi? Oh man, now I can't even pronounce it. But Ali Eldrazi, that's pretty good. I haven't seen his red-white land destruction deck. I assume that it's just you know, like he plays some crazy jank stuff. You just control, play it slow, and then just start ripping yourself apart. So I think it's Ali Intrazi. I think it's Entrazi, but whatever. He's good. He's a professional Magic player, and he's really good and plays jank at the highest level. He smashes. He's also, and I'm gonna point this out. He is also one of the most clever people I have ever seen hit the advertisement button on Twitch. If you're watching him, he'll be like, all right, so we're going to go off next turn. Advertisement. Right? Like, oh my god, that is so good, Ollie. On Twitch, in case you guys didn't know about it, like, if you're high enough up on Twitch, like, you get an advertisement button that it's the money button. Right? You could just, like, advertisement, but he does that. He's like, all right, so we're going to go off next turn. Advertisement. And you will watch the advertisement. You're not leaving. You're like, I want to see him go off, all right? And so, you know, kudos to him for being really, really good at his timing. You know, like, all right, we've got a high point here, and before you get to see the result, take a quick moment for this message from our sponsors. But yeah, like, it. Just watching him, that definitely taught me something. You know, he's like, you got to use those highs and lows and things, and I don't know. You can pick up a lot from watching him, not just that, but yeah. He's a really good player, and if you like jank, he's really good. So anyway, all right, hit that like button, people. Right? Hit the like button. You know you had a lot of fun tonight. Like, we played some really cool decks. We won 2 out of 3, which was what we did last night. Having fun. All in all, these are some really, really fun decks. Like, I enjoyed the Sultai Reanimator deck so much, even though I was wanting to see something like a Galta or something like that in the graveyard, so I could just bring back a 12/12 with Trample. We didn't need it, right? Like, Lotleth Giant seems to do the trick just fine. That was one of my favorite versions of Stitcher Supplier, Glowspore Shaman, you know, stuff like that. So, yeah, I really, really enjoyed that. Alright, so tomorrow I am probably going to be streaming much earlier than normal. And then there's possibly going to be a late night stream tomorrow night. No promises on the late night stream, but I'm going to be putting decks together. I've got about 8 decks built right now. But I may pull all of those up and we look at these decks and do some like preemptive deck building before the event on Wednesday. But expect tomorrow's you know, just games. We're doing Naya Unsealing. I'm going to be playing. Where's my Naya Unsealing deck? I'll show you guys. Naya Dinos. Here we go. So I'm going to be playing my Naya Sarkhan's Unsealing Naya Dinos deck. It's got the unsealings in it, but it's not like wrapped up around unsealing. We got decent removal here. I don't know. It's a decent deck. I've played around with this deck a ton, and there's a couple different ways I've ended up landing on this deck. Thunderherd Migration was in the deck, out of the deck, in the deck, out of the deck. It was map, it was Thunderherd, it was map, it was Thunderherd, that sort of thing. So we're going to be playing the Naya Unsealing for what I've been saying is like one of the last times. But it should be a lot of fun, right? We're going to have some fun with it. So we'll be playing 3 games of that. I don't know exactly what time I'm going to be doing it, but as soon as I get the opportunity, I'm going to play this so that... all right, be informed. So as soon as we get the... as soon as we get this done, then I'll probably, like, you know, kill the stream, then back up to the stream or bring the stream back up a little bit later with brewing and preparing for Wednesday. So then early Wednesday, we're going to be going live with the first of our 4 shows for the day. I'm going to be doing 4 shows ranging between 2 hours and 45 minutes to 3 hours each. It's gonna be a lot of airtime. Okay, I'm gonna say that. Originally, I thought that I could only do reruns for the first 24 hours. Found out today that WotC is allowing us to do video on demand immediately. So originally, we weren't going to be able to do video on demand immediately. I actually thought about turning it, instead of 4 3-hour shows, 6 2-hour shows, so that it would fit the YouTube thing better. I don't know. Like, if I could find a way to fill that content, then maybe. But right now I've got 4 shows lined up. So I'm going to be making thumbnails, things like that. I may do that on stream. Like, we may be making thumbnails on stream. I know you guys have been begging for me to do a video about that. So if you guys want to check in, hang out with us tomorrow night as, you know, we start preparing for the next set, then by all means. Do I need deck ideas? Not really, but if you want to post them, sure. Like, I'm not gonna like refuse, you know, a good deck if somebody's got a good deck. But I'm not going to make any guarantees. So, like, if I don't play your deck, please don't be upset. There is going to be an option. Our final show of the night should come in around the normal time that we stream on Wednesday night. So, you know, we'll have our usual audience there. You know, you guys. So that's going to be the show where if I do play any, you know, community decks and things like that. And I believe that I need to do one show of community decks because it's kind of a big part of the it's kind of a big part of the channel, right? We do a lot of community decks. We do, you know, like Dev's like a member of our community, and he's never here. I think he stopped into chat like maybe once or twice, and he comments on videos from time to time. But you know, we do Dev's decks, we do community decks, and then we do like my decks, and then some top tier. But that pretty much covers Magic. Whatever. So either way, we got a lot of fun coming up, and you know, again, you know, thank you Wizards for supplying us with an account that's got all the cards that we get to play with. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and like I said, I'm one of like 5 YouTubers that are going to be doing it. Like, now I know a lot of others are going to post their stuff after the fact on YouTube, but there's only 5 of us that are going to be live on YouTube in America. Like, there's a couple Japanese people and another language that is either Italian, Spanish, or French, or something like that. I couldn't read it. So I actually don't think it's Spanish, but it could be Spanish. But yeah, so not a lot going on for YouTube on that day. 396 streamers, so 400 streamers and a total of 8 on YouTube. Worldwide, a total of 8 of us on YouTube. I think that's fine. I think that's perfectly fine with me, right? So that's almost exclusive. What? Exclusive? Wow, what word was I trying to say? Yeah, so that's almost exclusive, right? God account on, off. Yeah, they're going to give us the God account for one day, 16 hours. We got to do what we can do with it, so. Either way, that's all I've got for tonight. Thank you, everyone, for showing up, having fun with us. For those of you that posted the decks, you know, Abnar, James Carr, geez, madness, yeah, madness. For all of you that posted the decks, thank you very much. And if you want to see your deck played, there's only one way to get it on our subscriber days, and that is post it on the Sideboardmtg subreddit. The link is in the description box below, as always. Also, don't forget, if you do want to sign up with manatraders, you want to be able to play with these cards, test these cards. All of the new cards are coming out. You're going to have to go back to spinning wild cards on Arena. Know where you want to spend those wild cards. Check out manatraders. They'll have all cards available normally within the first, you know, 3 to 7 days of a set coming out. You'll have the access to those cards, so that'll be a pretty big deal. I'm going to continue playing on MTGO. We're also going to continue playing on Arena. So, you know, that's where we're at. My name's Eric. You've been watching Sideboardmtg here on YouTube Gaming. I had a lot of fun. I hope you had fun, and we'll see you next time.